Well, you never know who you're going to meet up with on this program, and it was actually talking to a friend of somebody who said, you need to talk to Paul Hope, who's moved to America, and he's got a fascinating story to tell you. So, well, here he is, Paul, via Skype. First of all, I know you know lots of people we've interviewed. Paul Quine, the pilot, Dave Artis, you all grew up together apparently in the Isle of Man.
Yes, yeah, we did. We grew up in Annika.
So tell me, you live in the States, you're in law enforcement. What's this? What took you to America?
Well, when I was about 17 years old, I met my first wife. She's American, and she was over in the Isle of Man on vacation for 6 months, visiting relatives. And I was working at the Nautilus Fitness Center in Strand Street at the time, and she came in the gym with her aunt, and yeah, that's how I met her. And we ended up, getting together, and then I moved over here a couple of years later after I married her, and been here ever since.
The late 90s. You do sound American, but I believe the Americans think you still sound British or Manx.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, besides law enforcement, the reason I want to talk to you today is you've made a book, you produced a book. Tell me about this.
Well, so I got into police work in 2001. I worked for Virginia Capitol Police. And Virginia Capitol Police is located in Richmond. It's the capital area, which was the original capital, the United States back in the day. And so it's a very historic area, a lot of historic buildings. And one of the duties of the Virginia Capitol Police is to secure those buildings day and night. And when I first became a police officer with them, I was assigned to the midnight shift. Part of the midnight shift duties are you got to go inside these buildings and kind of just check them out in the middle of the night, walk the hallways and stuff, and just make sure no one unauthorized is in them, and they haven't been broken into, they're not burning down, nothing like that. And I found over the couple of years I worked for that department that just about everyone who had worked there at that time, I think there was just under 100 officers on the agency, but the majority of them had some sort of paranormal experience inside the one or several of the historic buildings in the Capitol over the years, and it is reportedly a very haunted location. There's a lot of stories, a lot of ghost stories that kind of spawned from that location.
And that fired your interest in the whole idea of writing about it?
It did, yeah. And, listening to the guys who had worked there years before me, listening to their stories, I used to think, someone needs to write these down. They're very interesting. I've read ghost books before, but, these stories are really intriguing, especially considering the witnesses are actually police officers, And like I said, over the couple of years of work there, I kept thinking to myself, somebody needs to write these things down, and write a book. And nobody ever did. So finally, after I left that agency and went to another agency, I went back to Virginia Capitol Police just to, visit my friends and kind of sat down with them, got their stories, wrote them down, and I ended up putting the book together. And I was lucky that when I submitted the manuscript, it was snatched up within just a few days of submitting by one of the major publishers here in the U.S.
So, do you believe, as they say, in all that sort of thing?
I do. I've had experiences myself. I've had experiences in and around the Capitol, but I also had experience as a teenager in the Isle of Man. Which made me a believer.
Really? Well, the Isle of Man, of course, yeah, there's a great tradition here for those sort of things. Where's your book available, and what's it called, and, where can people get it?
Well, the book itself is called Policing the Paranormal. I have a copy right here, you can see that. And it's available at all major booksellers, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Amazon.com, of course, and in the UK, it's available at several bookstores. There is the UK distributor.
Fantastic. Well, we wish you well, keeping up with your day job and your writing job. You got any more in the pipeline?
I'm thinking about it right now. I'm kind of a little bit busy, but eventually I'd like to put pen to paper again and see what I can come up with.
You should have a reunion, the three of you. That you live on the same road, all gone into quite interesting jobs around the world. Well, you know, in the world circuit sort of thing, aren't you? So well done.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm pretty convinced that I'm maybe the only person that grew up in Annika that's become a police officer in the United States. So.